Hello.
Good morning. It's Amon. How you doing?
I'm good. I've been expecting your call.
That's awesome. Hey, what have you been up to this morning?
Oh, I was watching some videos of.
Learning, studying, bright and early in the morning. That's the best time to do it.
Yeah. Because I came back from France end of October,
You came
so
back from France?
I'm still adjusting to the jet lag.
Well, that's awesome. Well, were you just on vacation in France, or were you visiting some family?
Yeah, visiting family.
That's awesome. I don't think I've ever been to France myself. I need to go. I've probably pit stopped in like Paris a couple of times to go to like Dubai, Qatar, Africa, but I've never been to.
I was there for 4 months. I was in France for 4 months.
That's beautiful. I'm very jealous. I'm very jealous. I'll say that much. But just to dive
Mhm.
straight into things, quick heads up: the call
Okay.
will be recorded for training and quality. But I noticed
Mhm.
you picked up the affiliate e-commerce store, and you asked for us to give you a call. So just give me a little more background on yourself, what you do for a living, what you do for work, and tell me a little more about what you're looking for with e-com, what you're looking to build with the business, and I'll see if I can help you out.
Oh, because I don't know. I after I signed up, right, there was this coaching course, so I thought everybody must pick a time. I don't know. So yeah, I'm actually starting this. I know that e-commerce is good, but I also know that a lot of people fail in e-commerce because I met some people who have one or two products they're starting to build, but it's not biting. Nobody's biting.
Mhm.
It's not getting sales. So it's almost like dead. So I know that I need to get people, to go with me on this journey. So then I was on Facebook. I watch Facebook videos. Yeah. Sometimes, I watch some Facebook videos and then I saw a video of, actually I wasn't interested in video because he doesn't look so polished, but after that, I watch more, and then I think he's quite generous. Yeah, so that's why I sign up.
Mhm.
And the price is not too, yeah, not too intimidating. It's something that I can try and even work. It's okay, at least I learn some.
100%. As of now, are you working or running your own business? How are you making money?
Uh, I, I, I went to France on medical EI, so actually I'm paid money by the Canadian government to look after my aunt for 4 months, I think. Yeah, and I start work. I have a few jobs. I have one full time, one part time, and I do take some casual shifts. But my job are actually quite easy. I'm not working in a Walmart or a retail store where I have to stand. I work in group homes. I take care of mentally and physically disabled adults. So it's like housework, being in the house with them. But I know that it's not something that I want to do the rest of my life. I want
How
to,
come?
uh, but
How come?
because it's just to pay the bills. I don't want to do something that's just to pay the bills, right? I want to make something more so that I can have time for my family. I can help my children. Yeah, self, make them self-employed too. Yeah, because I know that a 9 to 5 job is not something that is certain, right? In this age and time, you need some side hustle, yeah, to be really independent. Yeah.
100%. So it sounds like with the jobs you're working now, how much are you making?
Oh. About 100,000 a year.
Okay. And the salary and the money you're making yearly, it's not allowing you to have that type of freedom. It's not allowing you to spend time with your family and, you know,
Mm,
create a lifestyle that you want to provide.
not really, because I support for children. Yeah.
Really?
My sister of young, so yeah, at least two of them were still studying. Yeah. So because I live in a broken household, I'm trying to break away. Yeah. So without
Mm-hmm.
anything like that.
Gotcha. Well, what do you mean by broken household?
I live in a house where the other party is abusive. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So
And
making,
the work thing is not there. It's still in for more than 10 years. So I decided to break off, and yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm going through divorce. Yeah.
Got it. How that been for you?
Uh, yeah. Nobody wants my trade.
We get to start clean. We get to start clean slate, a new chapter. And now it makes a little more sense to me. Pardon me?
Yes, very true. Quick. And that's why I went to France. So I was there away for 4 months. I attended my cousin's wedding. I looked after my aunt, but I also had a lot of free time to myself. Yeah, I was able to do the things that I like. I was learning the piano.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so things that I like to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, you needed that trip to France because it shows you the life you could live, the life you can have, where you have the freedom of choice, where you have the flexibility to do what you want, when you want,
Mm-hmm.
where you want. And I feel like now that you've had a taste for that type of lifestyle, you know, you want to create income, you want to create a business that will give you that same sort of freedom and flexibility so that, you know, starting this new chapter in your life, you can have a lot more financial independence, you can have a lot more time freedom and flexibility so that you can live the life that you want rather than living the life you're forced to live because of your work and because of the money you make. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. So actually, I'm curious. How about you? Can you tell me something about yourself?
Yeah. My name's Amon. I like to work out. I've been doing e-commerce for the past couple of years. But what did you want to know yourself?
How did you get into e-commerce, and what makes you? How did you find out about?
Yeah, these are all good questions. So I come from an immigrant family. So my mother is from Taiwan and my father is from India. So being brought up in a very traditional household, I had very traditional values growing up. And, you know, we were always okay, but I knew that our family had a lot of financial stress and a lot of financial tension. I could just feel it. So, you know, me being young and naive, I didn't know any better. So I listened to them, went to college, got my degree in engineering, went into the corporate world. But in the corporate world, it wasn't for me, and it wasn't allowing me to live the happy life I thought I would live that my parents told me about. I had like 150 grand in student debt. I had money that I was sending back home to my extended family in Taiwan and India. And, you know, I was just in a very like tight financial position. Like even though I was making like 65, 70,000 a year pre-tax, I was still paycheck to paycheck just because my expenses were so high. And, you know, working up the corporate ladder, as I'm sure you know, it takes a long time, number one. And number two, it's never guaranteed. So even though you might be working very hard and you might be performing really good and you might be bringing extraordinary results, you're not always going to be compensated as such. And I realized nobody's going to pay me what I'm worth other than myself. And that's where I started looking into business. But as you and I both know, traditional business is very expensive. So I needed to get into something like e-commerce just because it didn't take a lot of capital. And
Mm-hmm.
between you and me, out of everybody in the online space that you can learn from, the most reputable person to me. He was there, he has these companies, he has a track record, he has history that I can read about, learn, understand. Plus he's a very genuine guy, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to connect myself with people that I align with, and now connecting with him, I don't work for him, I should say that. I work with him. So I have my own business now. I have my own e-commerce agency, and now I
Mm-hmm.
actually do consulting work with for some of his businesses that he owns.
Mm. Okay. May I know how old are you?
Take a
Did you
guess.
start to? Oh, I think you are in your 30s.
Oh my god. I I hope I don't sound that old. I just turned 28. I turned 38
Oh,
soon though, soon. So fingers crossed, no
that,
gray hair yet, but it's coming.
mm, mm, that's good. Yeah, thanks for telling me. I'm very happy that you at 8 years old is already having the mindset of of yeah. That's why
But
I
you
want
see,
them to have your mindset, and I know that they don't have it because I did not have it when I was their age too.
exactly. And see, that's the hard part. You know, especially because I think we also have similar backgrounds. Are you an immigrant or were you born in America?
No, I am from born in Malaysia, and then I migrated to Canada.
Oh, that's awesome. So then you know it exactly like me. You know, with my parents, probably with your parents, with being immigrants, you know, they had very traditional values. So a lot of what you learned when you were younger, you need to unlearn now to be able to rebuild. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. When my parents tell me what to do, then I follow. Yeah, and that's the reason why I did not take the initiative to divorce, which I should have done a long time ago. But that's because of my parents' traditional views. Marriage is for life.
Exactly.
So yeah. So
Same thing happened with my parents. They ended up getting a divorce too, so I know things can be, you know, pretty tight, pretty difficult, but with you,
hmm
have you ever tried online business? Have you ever tried e-commerce yourself, or is this going to be your first time?
I tried the generation, but and then I tried teaching to business owners running Facebook ads for contractors, which I did, but I don't know. I was doing it as a side hustle, so I couldn't really. Yeah, I was like just making enough to, but it's like from a job to another job. So, and then something happened. My brother died of cancer last year, and then
I'm
my
so
aunt got
sorry to
sick.
hear.
So no, it's okay. So I mean, at least then I'm aware. I mean, it hit me, that life is short. I better do something. So that's why I think, yeah, I need to. I do not want to go from a salary job to a self-employed. That is also another job. A
Yeah,
lot of people they're struggling to make money. I mean, I don't want that. I want something that has a fair percentage, a high percentage of success. And when I watch his webinar, It's like he's going to give me a store and I'm going to learn the ins and outs of e-commerce. I was saying, yeah, why not? And then I watched all his previous videos of how those people who learned, I think in 2015, yeah, he also helped a group to become, very rich. So I said, okay, I want to try that. I want to give this a try.
That's awesome. Have you
Yeah.
ever thought of like how much you need to be making for you to have that, type of freedom that you want?
I do not know. Not sure, but my own job is just 100,000 a year. That's not enough for me and my family.
Yeah. No, makes sense. Makes sense. I think, yeah, with, it's all about the time, right? Like you're at a point where I think especially after the experience and the situation you went through, witnessing your brother
Mhm.
and him go through a lot of, what he was facing, like you mentioned, it shows you that, life is short and every single minute of your day, you need to be appreciative and you need to be grateful for, of course, and you need to live in the present,
Mhm.
always, but it also forces you to have more urgency with your future. Instead of just going with the flow and saying, okay, maybe next time, okay, maybe this investment in 25 years it will pay off. Like, no, you need to, like, if you want that lifestyle, like, you have to put in the work now for you to have the life tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Mhm. There was one question. I think in one of the questions that he told me, how much are you willing to invest? So now my question is, how much am I? What is the minimum I should invest to see some measure of success?
Well, I mean,
So,
you tell me, because I see people start with a lot of different numbers. Some people who are in, better financial positions are able to start with 10, 15, 20, if not more. And some people, like myself, when I started, who are not in the best financial position, a couple thousand, like you'll be able to still see the results. I know you
oh,
mentioned, like, you mentioned you've been kind of off for the past 4 months on leave and you've been going through this divorce. But with your finances, what do you think you'd be able to set aside for this business?
oh, I can. I can. A couple thousand is fine with me. Yeah, a couple thousand is fine. So, but I'm just wondering because I have not gone through the course, so I do not know what is required. But I know that there are some monthly costs, right? Shopify is not free. You do have to pay some monthly subscription. That's fine with me. Yeah, I'm just wondering if I already have a store with, and the store is making money, and he's doing all the fulfillment and everything.
Let me pause you
So,
right there. So the store
okay.
isn't going to be making money when we give it to you. So
Mhm.
your store will be completely built. It will be completely set up. But for you to make money, you need to start marketing it. Now that's where you spend most of the budget that you have. But
Mhm.
the bigger investment here that you need to be thinking of a lot more than the money is your time.
Mhm.
Because like you mentioned
Mhm.
before, a lot of people want to come into e-commerce, but a lot of people don't see the success with it because they don't understand how to see the results and how to see that success.
Mhm.
So coming into something like this, I know you mentioned, the last time you tried something like lead generation with your agency, you saw some traction, you saw some success, but, it was practically another full-time job that you didn't want. But for you
Mhm.
to be able to learn the skill, that way you can make your money work for you. Are you really
Mhm.
at a point in your life where, amongst all the stress and all the tension and, maybe all the family pressure you have with just everything going on, Like, do you feel like you can commit yourself to learning the e-commerce skills so that when you apply them, you can see the results?
Yeah, actually, my time is my time. My kids are young adults now, so they're really quite independent.
Yeah, they don't
Because I
want
was
anything
away
to do with
for 4
mom.
months. No, I was away for 4 months in France, and they were able to function independently here. So I know that my kids, they're okay with themselves. So I just need to, as their mom, I just need to make sure I something that big enough that they may feel what I need to do. You know what? Yeah. So
That's good.
yeah.
Well, I think this could make sense here. We actually opened up a beta program where you would have a lot more opportunity to get a lot more support, direction, guidance coming into this. And that way you're just not all alone. You know, we thought to ourselves, if we're already allowing you to sell for the brands that we own, we thought, let's connect you with the same exact guys who are marketing those brands so that you can learn the same exact strategies and understand how to be doing the different tasks correctly. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
that'd be something you'd be open to, working with our team to have more support? Or did you want to do this all by yourself, just going through the trial and error by yourself?
I don't understand because I thought with I signed up for that e-commerce 2.0. Won't they teach me everything, or it's not enough? I really need another more guidance.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I love to play the piano. I'm learning.
Piano. Now, so I don't know how to play piano, but let's say I said, I want to learn piano. What do you recommend?
You should
This
sign
is
up
what,
for a course.
yeah, so let's say
For
I
a
said,
course teacher, yeah.
yeah, exactly. You just took the words right out of my mouth. If I said, Josephine, how do you think I will learn piano quicker and better? Either watching videos on it or getting a
Mm-hmm.
tutor who can teach me. What do you think would get me the results quicker?
Yeah, of course a tutor, yeah. But I mean, it has to be a legit tutor. There are a lot of tutors who just, they teach you and you don't learn anything.
100%. And the way you know a good tutor versus a bad is the number of years they've been in the space, so their years of experience, their years of expertise, their accolades, their achievements, and their success. So
Mm-hmm.
you do have a course, but with that course you would still be, on your own trying to apply that into your business. So do you think you'd be open to working with us so that you do have more support? So that way you're not just coming at this blindly? Or did you want to just do this by yourself, go into the course and try and
I
do
need
that?
to know what is how much is the financial outlay? Because I need to know the end goal. What is the end in mind? What is the final figure you're talking about?
Well, the
Yeah.
end goal is the $100,000 that you want to make, right? So I guess the better question would be,
$100,000 a year? No, that's not enough for me.
well, that's
I don't want to go.
that's the initial goal, right? That will initially allow you to quit your job. But obviously long term, you're going to increase your goals, but we need to take it one step at a time, right?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. I need to know how much it will cost. Yeah. Because I'm not a person with unlimited finances, but at the same time, I have money in the stock market that is more than 50% off. I do not want to steal
Withdraw,
my
yeah.
paper loss.
We're all
I don't.
hurting.
Yeah, I don't want to steal my paper loss, but I know that I gave up my Singapore citizenship uh, a while back, a few months back. So I'm going to have some pension money coming in in January. Yeah. So I will have some money there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about, yeah,
Well, then
about five
you know,
figures around there. Yeah.
you've brought it up a couple of times, so I can tell it's probably it's causing a little bit of anxiety here. You know, just with your finances now, like how much have you saved up and set aside for the business that you have liquid at the moment?
I have about
Okay. It
yeah.
definitely is a tighter budget. I'll be very transparent with you. I'll be honest with you. But
Mhm.
what you're going to have to do to make up for that tighter budget is make that up with work ethic. Because you're not in a position where you can afford to lose money. So you need to be
Mhm.
strategic and calculated with what you do. So I think the
Mhm.
coaching would make sense just to make sure that you're doing everything correctly here. But before I tell
Mhm.
you a little more about that, are you like is that 1,500 you have like also for bills and stuff, or do you have money coming in that is helping you take care of your expenses?
No, the 15,000 that I have is just for my bank account with it, and I have another 10,000 that's for my running expenses in Canada.
Okay, perfect. Well,
But it's separate. I don't mix my business money with my household money.
did you say 1,500 or 15,000?
15,000.
Oh, okay. You're not gonna need anywhere close to that much money. You're okay.
Okay. I was like, oh my god, is that enough?
No, I thought you said 1,500, but no, yeah, 15,000. It's more than enough. That's way more than what I started with back in 2018. So you're more than enough. That's perfect. But when it comes down to actually working with us, pretty straightforward. So just to make sure you and me are on the same page and we're both clear, instead of having to build a brand new business from the ground up,
Mhm.
we're allowing you to sell our products for your business. So we are going to build you your own website, which will be a daughter brand or a daughter business to our parent Pier 1 or Dress Barn brand. So I know you mentioned you're in Canada. I think Pier 1 and Dress Barn have a couple stores there depending on where in Canada you're at. But we closed all
No.
the...
My ticket is the US because my bank account is in US. The one that I reserve for business is in US. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, yeah, that makes no difference. But when it comes down to your business, we're going to build you your own store from the ground up. We're going to upload the products to your store as well. And then every time you make a sale, we will domestically manufacture, warehouse, and ship the product for you directly to the customer. So once you make the sale, you collect the money, then you buy the product from us for a cheaper price, similar to the drop shipping business model. We ship the product to the customer on your behalf, and then you make up the markup profit in between. Does that make sense?
Okay. But yeah, this was the same webinar I attended, and I listened to. It said the same thing.
I know. I just wanted to re-explain what happened, just so that
Mhm.
you understand.
Yeah, and I already saw the two stores that I have.
Good. So we're both on the same page?
Yeah.
Awesome. So now how the coaching program works is very, very hands-on. So obviously, for you to start making money with the store, you're going to need to get customers, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I know.
Exactly. So the marketing is how you're going to get your customers. So instead of you just taking whatever money you have saved up and set aside and trying to get the marketing to work just by going through trial and error, throwing money at the wall, seeing what sticks, seeing what doesn't. We want to be a little more calculated. We want to be a lot more calculated and a lot more strategic. So instead of getting you to learn piano just by going through courses by yourself, or in other words, learning about the business, about marketing by yourself, we're going to be working on it together. So just like with piano, having that tutor right by your side, making sure that you understand how to play the notes, how to, play the right harmony and melody. You probably know the definitions better than I do, but when it comes down to e-commerce, you're going to be with our tutors. So you're going to be working with me, you're going to be working with, you'll be working with other coaches on our team, other tutors, if you will, and you'll also be working with our other students. So every single week for the next 3 months, the next 90 days, we're going to be working on your business together. That way we can teach you from steps A through Z what you need to do, why it's done this way, how it needs to be applied. And that way you can learn the strategies that are actually making money, the strategies that are actually profitable. That way when you replicate them and implement them into your business, you can also start to see those sales and start to see the growth. Now, you mentioned to me earlier that when you were doing lead generation, it was pretty much another full-time job. Now, initially, with e-com, it's not going to be a full-time job, but you do need to understand you're going to be putting more time in the beginning to learn about the business, to learn about the strategy, to learn about the process, and then after, probably in your 3rd month, we will teach you how to automate your business. So automation is how you create passive income, because instead of you having to do a task, you're automating that task. That way, you're not replacing your full-time job at the home you're working at for another full-time job in your business, but you're creating a stream of income that not only produces consistent and scalable income, but also income that is passive, that gives you more time freedom to travel, spend with your children, or just play piano without having to worry and stress.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, great. Now on top of that, we're going to give you a bunch of tools. There are a lot of resources like funnel templates, copywriting templates.
I have a question. Because when I signed up for that $97 e-commerce 2.0, it mentioned a lot of things, the same things that you mentioned. So I'm just wondering, how is that different from what you're mentioning?
It's not the same. Let me ask you. It's tutoring from your piano teacher, and of course, the same thing.
No, of course not. So that means, if I go with you on this, that means I don't do all the 4-month lessons that I'm supposed to do?
You do. You're just doing both. So our coaching is 4 months, and course is 4 months, so that while you go through the course and you jump on the coaching calls, you can learn and start applying what we're teaching you directly into your business.
Oh, so that means I will be in a different Facebook group?
It's not a Facebook group. We do our coaching calls on Zoom. So we do it live. So it's not recorded sessions or anything. They're all live so that we can see your face and you can see our face live. And
okay, so I need to know what times are the live?
So they're every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
2 p.m. That means it's 11
Pacific time in the morning. Correct.
11 in the morning. And for how long?
They're typically between an hour and 2.
Oh. Okay, I can make the time for it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, best part about it all, when it comes to actually joining our team and working with our family,
So
we're not
so
we're not going to do any sort of monthly fees. We're not going to do any sort of subscriptions. None of that crap. To actually join the coaching program where you have a lot more of the hands-on guidance and support that you are not alone, it's just a one-time investment of $3,000.
oh, okay. And so with that, is there any additional materials I must learn, or is there another module to learn or something? No, right?
Well, yes.
Because there's a lot already I mean the regular training, right?
So it goes hand in hand. So for example, if you get a piano tutor, I'm sure your piano tutor will tutor you one session, but then the tutor will give you homework so that by the next session you're prepared. Same
Ah.
as the courses you have, the homework, and the coaching
Mhm.
calls is where we actually help you apply it. So you
Mhm.
probably wouldn't be able to figure out how to play one of, I don't really know too many songs that people play on piano, but let's say you were
So my
learning.
do I have to start now, or can I choose when I want to start?
Well, let me ask you, how soon do you want to start making money in your sleep and quit your job?
Oh, because I'm going through divorce. My divorce date November 21. I have to see my lawyers. I have a lot of court documents to. I may not have the time from now till 21 November. Can I do after, right after?
So what you're telling me is for the next 10, 15 days, this is not a priority to you?
It is a priority, but I want to maximize my 4 months. Because I don't want, because once I'm in, I'm 100% in. I don't want anything to distract me or any distractions. I want all my 100% of my time to be focused on this.
Yeah, that's
So,
understandable. Quite frankly though, even for the next like 2 weeks up until the trial, it's not like you're putting in 8 hours a day. You know, you're putting in an hour to, if not 3
no, it's also
maximum.
because, no, it's also because I was away for 4 months in France. I came back. There's a lot of things I need to declutter and clean up and spring clean. You know, when I came back, that night itself, I couldn't sleep on my bed. My room was like a storage room because for the 4 months, there was construction going on. Contractors redo our windows, our blinds, our bathroom fan, our balcony, our exterior walls. So,
Are you
and
selling your house?
all the electrical wiring was redone. So my room was a storage room because my kids have no place to put. So I came back. Right now I'm just decluttering. I need time to clear all this stuff.
Yeah,
I
like you definitely got to do that, right? Like I can tell you got a lot on your plate, but you know your business and the success of it is also your responsibility. But to be honest with you, the next week or two I don't really think would make the biggest difference. And what we would do is, like the thing is, we're planning on probably extending the session, so past the 4 months. So if let's say you join today and
no,
you
I
can't
don't
take
mind.
advantage of it,
No, I don't
we
mind.
can
I
extend
don't
that
mind.
later. So why
No,
don't
no, wait. I want to tell you something. I don't mind paying the 3,000 today, but I cannot start until after November 21. Is that okay? So that my date is, let's say, November 22 and 4 months from November 22.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly okay. Well, in the next
Yeah.
2 weeks, do you think like you won't be able to do anything? Not even like 20 minutes a day?
Because I like to be, but
I mean, you be honest
when,
with me. It doesn't need to be like high intensity, 100%. Even if you're putting 40 or 30% energy, better than nothing is what I'm saying. So do you think you'll be able to do anything over the past 2 weeks, even if it's 20 minutes a day?
I want to use the time that I have to finish the 4 months training, that learn as much as I can the pre-training that I enrolled in, so that by the time I come November 22, I'm 100% focused.
Yeah, sounds good. Might as well just start everything with a clean slate. You'll be a brand new woman, a brand.
Okay, so I can pay now, but I don't want to start the clock, the 4-month clock, you said. 4 months, 16 weeks, right?
4 months, 16 weeks, and after the 4 months, after the 16 weeks, when you start making some money with this business, I'm gonna have to buy you a bottle of champagne just for celebrations.
Okay, I love good champagne. I love wine in France.
Okay, well I
Wine,
definitely
wine, rose wine.